This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching.
Yes, 420, am I right? Toke it up, bros. Yeah, you know, just like line up a little doobie and, you know, just get baked. Yeah. Yeah, beastie, get baked. 420.
We rode this right before the quarantine, like a couple weeks before everything got shut down, and we were stoked to get it on some groomers. And then I think Peter got it in a little powder.
I got it in powder.
And we rode this with Union Atlas, Strata. To give you a short summary, yeah, this is a mostly pure powder board, but it does not skimp on groomers. And this year, the board we got seems to have just a touch of camber. In comparison to the 420 Plus, less camber, less groomer savvy.
Yeah, 52 feels like a big board.
It felt too big for me.
These 52s feel big. In powder,
Yeah.
It felt just right. On the groomers, I could have gone like with a 48 or a 49.
Mm-hmm. I think I would have been happier all around with a little bit smaller size, but it worked fine with our weight. Just the control factor, it's just so wide. It would have been nice to go a little shorter since you've got all that width anyways.
It's hard for us with our small little
9s and 8.5
feet to get these wide boards to really push over on their edges like
if we were
people.
The same weight, 175 and 185, but let's say size 10, 10.5, this would be it.
Yeah.
The shape, you can see it's tapered directional, but it's a little more centered than your average powder board. A lot of powder boards are really set back on board. This is not. So it's got a little more centered feel. It doesn't feel as tapered and directional, aka washy off the tail. The camber here, like we talked about, there's just a touch of camber going on just to give it a little extra pop, because in comparison to the 420 Plus with that little extra bit of camber, that was more fun of a ride for us, just in and out of powder.
Yeah, no, I totally think that the 420 Plus, you really feel the camber in the 420 Plus. If you're trying to get more into, you know, that looser, less cambery feel, this one is generally hinting in that direction.
And it's a little more forgiving than the 420 Plus.
Yep.
But
that's why if I were going to call one aggressive, I would call the 420 Plus one a little more aggressive and this one a little more forgiving.
I would call it aggressive too, though, but more on the semi-aggressive side, because it is forgiving to skid a turn, but it's so wide, it's hard to skid those turns.
Hard to skid a turns.
And it's got such a wide, stable platform, especially on groomers, it really points, like it can really point and it really gets its speed going, and it's kind of hard to just, you know, if you get off your game, quickly come to a stop or skid out a turn.
Not that bad.
Yeah, they both have that kind of like medium stiff flex going on here. I don't know, man.
To me, it still feels, I mean, like I couldn't butter it.
No, and I could get a little off the tail and play around with it, but it took some work. Pop-wise, not quite there with the 420 Plus.
Yeah.
That Plus might stand for pop, for camber, for pop. And definitely a huge step behind the hybrid there.
Yeah.
Which has the tail of these guys, the 420 and 420 Plus. And so, yeah, I mean, not super poppy, but speed, you know, other than the base, I felt both were really stable and damp. The 420 and 420 Plus were stable and damp at speed, and definitely faster than the hybrid. You know, in terms of dampness, the hybrid has a faster base, the 420 Plus has a faster base, but this has some dampness and some pointability.
It's definitely got some dampness. I definitely don't love it on like uneven terrain just mainly due to the shape of the board. And once again, short fatties are not my forte by any means. They are out there for riders. We have riders like Clint who absolutely love them, you know, absolutely love the short fatty boards. Everything about them fit their riding style. These, for me, when I'm trying to bomb, I just feel a little uncomfortable, you know, but the board does do it well for a short fatty.
I was gonna say, in comparison to most short wides,
Yeah.
this can really suck things up, and it won't buck you around as much.
Yeah, it doesn't feel super like just out of control. You don't get all of the reverb like you do in some short fatties, like from LibTech and stuff, you know, and it just like kind of just, you feel all of the aggressive action. You're just like, ow, you know. This board definitely mellows it out, you know.
Yeah, it's got a rubbery, damp feel. Edge hold, okay.
Meh.
Dude, the hybrid, the optimistic, and all the other Yes boards with their disrupted side cuts, you know, either underbite, mid-bite, tapered underbite, all these other things, they grab the snow a lot better for hard. But this is mainly a powder board, so don't worry about it too much. Turn initiation and carving, I thought this just slow, edge to edge, just slow. It gets a little better in powder, but it's still a cruiser. It's still not for, you know, not for weaving in and out of stuff. If you get a bump line, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah, no, I compare it to, boards like the Hatchet and...
Yeah, that's a good comparable board.
It just feels so slow edge to edge.
Like, dude, the Hatchet, the Legacy, the Thruster from prior, like so many of the 420 plus.
You're not getting this board for tight, you know, weaving
I'd rather
turns.
be on the hybrid 153 in those bumps. I could totally weave through that. This board does carve way better than I thought for what it would be. Like, they market it so much as a powder board. It does have some carving strength, but it's not a, like, it's not like the 420 plus.
No, 420 plus far exceeds it in carving.
Yeah. And the hybrid even more so.
And the hybrid much more
dude,
so.
and then the Optimistics, the next level off that.
Yeah.
But
I would also consider the Hatchet a much better carver than this.
Oh, way better. The Hatchet and the Legacy and the Thruster carve super hard too.
Yeah. Powder, this board does have an almost indomitably unsinkable feeling. Riding it in like 6 to 8 inches of powder, and it was the first powder storm in like a month, and it was pretty hard underneath. I didn't feel the bottom with this board almost at all. I gotta say, like, I was really, really blown away at how unbelievably on top of the snow this board stays. I mean, its shape, everything about it, it's kind of like flat, barely camber to lots of rocker. This huge plated out nose right there just does not sink at all. And that kind of centered feeling really...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's very, very fun and feels just really smooth when you're out there. You don't feel like you're completely
You're not riding
back.
the tail.
Yeah.
Not many boards can do that and float this well.
Exactly.
And you could even throw this around switch if you wanted to in certain situations for traverses and stuff. It's definitely a board that leads with its nose. But yeah, all in all, I mean,
I would feel
it's a reasonably priced board that floats incredibly well in powder.
It has a powder freestyle vibe to it.
Yeah. For us, would we rather be on the Jones Mind Expander, or for me, the Prior Legacy, or the Spring Breaks? Yeah, we'd probably rather be on those. But this could be your personal favorite.
And I'm usually not one to ever try and like upsell people on necessarily like a more expensive board saying that it is better. Like,
usually downsell.
I'm like going like, say like, screw the Ultra Craft in the, you know, or the Ultra Flagship. Go regular flagship and regular hovercraft all day long. I usually don't like Carbon Tech or whatever super, you know, upgrades. Usually they just get like stiff and light and chattery for me. But in all honesty, I did think that the 420 kind of took everything that I liked about this board.
The 420 plus?
The 420 plus, and just did it a little bit better.
Yeah, and
my honest opinion.
I feel the same thing too.
Yeah.
I just think that it's not ultra light. It's just as damp as the 420, and it's got a better core and a faster base and a little more camber. It just makes for a more versatile board all around, where it's more fun on groomers and just the same in powder. So if you can swing it, Get the 420 plus because you diversify your quiver a little more.
Yeah, but you know, if you're there and you're trying to save them dollar bills, y'all, but you're still trying to impress Snoop Dogg, maybe the regular 420 is for you.
Welcome to the Good Ride. You think we might be high because we're reviewing the Yes 420.
Whoa, bro!
I'm not though.
I'm a little bit high.
He's a little bit high.
A little bit. It's pain management for my back and neck, okay?
Yeah.
And for coronavirus quarantine.
Yeah, poor guy's stuck with us.
All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, and we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now, if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.